Hey guys, welcome back. First of all, I have to start off by saying that I'm so glad October is over. Halloween is kind of stressful. I didn't do anything crazy this year, but ever since Halloween did end, I've been feeling a lack of creativity. I just haven't felt inspired, and everything that I have filmed since the Halloween tutorials just hasn't been doing it for me. I just sit down and film, and I just halfway through the tutorial, I'm like, what are you doing? I don't know. I don't know what's been wrong with me. It kind of happens as a creative person. You go through waves of feeling inspired and uninspired and feeling like, what the heck am I doing? So if you are a creative person out there and this happens to you, do not worry. It's totally normal. So I went through a week of feeling uninspired. Today is, I believe, Wednesday, and I just kind of wanted to sit down and do whatever it was that my heart desired to do. I didn't want to do anything that felt forced. And for me, I've just been loving these two looks that were recently posted. The first one was Rihanna's makeup look for the cover of Vogue Arabia. It was so beautiful, and in my head it was green, not blue, but now that I'm looking at it, I'm like, oops, it was blue. But I kind of fused it with this look that I also saw NATASHA DENONA post on her page, and this one is definitely emerald, so I kind of just fused those two looks together and created this, and that's just what I wanted to do today, and just have fun with today's video. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed today's tutorial. If you guys are interested and want to see how I created this look, just keep on watching. All right, I have a lot of eyeliner left over from last night, so my eyes are looking a little dark, but I'm going to start by priming them with the Too Faced Shadow Insurance. I'm just going to go ahead and apply that all over the lid. I'm also going to go in with a little bit of my foundation and concealer on the inner and outer corners of the eyes, just so that when I do my foundation, I don't mess up the eyeshadow. Today's foundation mixture is NARS Sheer Glow in Stromboli. This reminds me again from the good old days at the NARS boutique on Melrose, and I did have to lighten it. However, I'm gonna get a NARS Sheer Glow in a lighter shade, so I stick with the same formula because I forgot how much I love this foundation. But for now, I'm mixing it with my Coke & Dough foundation in shade 213. And I'm obsessed with this little itty bitty beauty blender. It's so cute. And I'm just gonna apply a little out here and on the brow bone. And then I'm also gonna take a little bit of Tarte's Shape Tape and apply it to the inner corners, just because I feel like whenever I don't do this and I do my foundation and concealer afterwards, I always mess up my eyeshadow on the inner corners. So just do it first, that way you don't have to touch it later when doing your foundation. Now I'm gonna go in with this NUDESTIX in Night. You guys know I love these, the magnetic matte eye color. The look that Rihanna has on is very winged out and dark on the edges, but it's not necessarily a black wing. It's more like the eyeshadow is creating the wings. So I'm gonna start with this pencil to outline the shape, starting with this outer corner right here, just a little bit. And then I'm gonna take a brush and further wing it out. And now I'm gonna dip into the Anastasia, what is this called? Prism palette. I have been dying to use this green eyeshadow for so long, so I'm glad that I'm doing this tutorial today because I'm definitely gonna be using it. But I'm gonna start with this black eyeshadow over here, Obsidian. I'm gonna pack it on right over that black cream shadow, mainly on the outer part, creating that wing. I know this looks crazy, but we're just building on the eyeshadow. It'll come together like it always does. So the next shadow I'm gonna be using from the palette is Throne, this beautiful emerald green shadow right here. I'm just gonna pack that onto the lid. And then just slowly blend it in towards that black eyeshadow, but don't bring it back. We're gonna do that with a separate brush because we don't want that black to mix in with the green too much. We want the green eyeshadow to really pop. Now to blend that shadow into the crease, what I'm gonna do is mix Parallel with Unity, so that way it's not that dark of a brown, it's more of a transition shade. And I'm gonna start slowly blending the green eyeshadow and the black shadow into the crease. Very slowly, so that we're, again, keeping that black shadow mostly in its place. We don't wanna blend it in too much with the rest of the eyeshadow. And then if you didn't apply foundation around the eyes, you can go ahead and use a makeup wipe to clean this up. I'm just gonna go ahead and use my foundation since I already have it on the outer edges. So I'm taking that same concealer brush and I'm just going to apply it right underneath to create that wing. So now what I'm gonna do to just further buff out the edges so it doesn't look super sharp, I'm just gonna pick up that lighter shadow, what's it called? Unity, and a large fluffy blending brush and just buff around the edges. Okay, from here, I'm gonna go ahead and work on the rest of the skin. I'm gonna start by using, where did my Fix Plus go? I'm gonna start by misting my skin with Fix Plus to further lock that green shadow in, make it pop. And I'm also going to be using this Laura Mercier foundation primer in Radiance. I just love the way this makes skin look. It gives an all over illumination, glow to the skin. So I'm just going to apply it right here and a little bit on the forehead. And then for foundation, I'm going to use that same mixture I showed you guys earlier, the NARS Sheer Glow Foundation in Stromboli, which has an olive undertone. And I'm just going to lighten it a bit with my Kogan Dough foundation. And then again for concealer, I'm also using Tarte's Shape Tape in light medium and light neutral. One's more pink or salmon color, and then the other one is more neutral. So it gives me a really nice shade to highlight with. So I'm just gonna go ahead and apply it right underneath the eyes. And then with that same brush, I'm gonna blend it out and apply it to the center of the face. I like to use a lighter to medium coverage foundation and then cover up my imperfections like my sunspots. So I'm going to use my Laura Mercier Secret Camouflage Concealer. I just mixed the two, primarily more this color, since it's a correcting shade. I should have done this before Shape Tape, but I forgot. Oh well, we're just going to do it now. So I just pick it up, kind of warm it up right here on my hand, and then I apply it to the sunspots. And then blend it out with the itty bitty beauty blender. It's so cute, I can't get over it. And then I'm just going to set everything with the Laura Mercier translucent powder and a poof. I've also been trying not to press the powder in with a sponge because, I don't know, I've just been liking a lighter feeling makeup lately. So what I'm going to do for the areas that crease is, actually let me do that first. I'm just going to take the little beauty blender, pick up the excess creasing, and then I just take a little eyeshadow brush and press it underneath the eye. Also around the nose and laugh lines. I go with the poof and just press it into the rest of the skin. I always like to start with the area that has all the concealer on it for the sunspots, just to make sure I'm really setting that, because if not, when I go in with bronzer, blush, and highlight, it'll shift around the foundation and those sunspots will come back up, which is really annoying. Okay, now I'm just gonna fill in my brows really quick so that they don't look crazy throughout the entire tutorial. So I'm just gonna use my Anastasia Brow Wiz in the shade Soft Brown. I've completely run out of my Dior brow styler. I need to repurchase it. So lately, I've been applying brow pencils to the top part of my brow first, and focusing more so on the arch, and then adding some more underneath the brow once the arch is done. And since I'm already here on the eyes, let's just go ahead and finish the lower lash line. I'm gonna start by applying that mixture of Parallel and Unity together on the lower lash line. I always like to pat it in first when my base is already done, and then I'll blend it out afterwards. And then I'm going to go in with more of just Parallel, the darker brown, and start deepening up the eyeshadow. And once I have that shadow on there, I'm just going back in and buffing everything out with a blending brush. And then I'm going to go in with the black shadow and apply it to the outer part of the lower lash line and also connect it to that wing. And to further clean things up, I'm taking this La Mer Sheer Press Powder in the shade Medium, number 32, and a kabuki brush. And I'm just gonna apply it to the outer edge right here where the shadow went a little too far. It's just gonna make things look cleaner. I always recommend having a foundation powder in your kit because it helps when you already have your powder and your foundation and everything done, because obviously you can't use makeup remover at this point or more liquid products. So foundation powder just helps to clean everything up at the end. I'm also going to be completely filling in the waterline, both upper and lower, with this Maybelline Lasting Drama Gel Pencil in Sleek Onyx, which is a black liner. I also really like Silkissime by L'Oreal. Great drugstore liners that I think are even better than some of my high-end liners. And then whatever trickles out past the lash line, you're just going to buff it out with that same little brush we were applying shadows. So this guy right here, you're just going to buff it into that lash line. And let's just wrap up the eyes now and work on the skin. So I'm going to go ahead and apply my Marc Jacobs Velvet Noir Mascara. And then for lashes, I'm going to be using these ones by Velour. They're called Wispie Me Away. And what I like to do with lashes like this is I actually cut a lot off, maybe like that much, and apply it just to the ends to create that winged out effect with the lashes versus a full strip that goes all the way into the inner part of the eyes. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. Okay, so with the lashes on, this is what it looks like. And again, they only start like right about here and go out, but they match the look really well because it keeps everything more towards the outer part of the eye, creating that really nice cut eye. And now let's finish the skin. And I'm actually gonna start by highlighting the skin first today. I don't know why, I just feel like doing it first. And I've been loving this brush for a softer highlight. This is the Sigma Spotlight Duster F37. I normally use it for my Hourglass ambient lighting powders. It just gives a really soft finish on the skin. I don't know what it is about it, but I'm gonna use it with the Makeup Forever. These are the little customizable powders. They come in blush, bronzer, contour, and highlighting powders, and you can customize them. So I'm just gonna use that and sweep it across the high points. So with this brush, I'm just gonna lightly sweep it over the face. And you'll see this brush just lightly sweeps highlighter on the skin. It doesn't really pack it on, and I really like that. And I'm also going to be using this highlighter by Laura Geller. It's the same as Gilded Honey, just in the shade Ballerina. It's more taupey. I'm going to use this as a base for my blush because I'm going to be using Risque by Tarte, which is completely matte, and I want to have an all-over glow on the skin. So I'm going to use that same brush and dust this onto the cheek. And then let's go into bronzer. So I'm gonna be using those same customizable powders by Makeup Forever. I don't know the names and they're really hard to pop out, so I'll make sure to include it in the description box. I'm gonna be going in with this powder right here. And I'm gonna apply it with this Smashbox brush that I've also really been loving for bronzer. This is called the Buildable Cheek Brush. I don't know, something about the way the bristles. See how it's it's different than your normal angled powder brush. And now I can go in with Risque Blush by Tarte. And again, I'm going to use that same brush I was using earlier to just dust it onto the cheeks. I actually don't think this is the blush color I wanted to use. I wanted something a little more neutral, but I'm just going to make it look a little softer by using that La Mer powder. I'm going to use that same brush and just kind of dust over it to soften up the color. I wanted something a little more on the brown side, but it's okay. We'll work with it. And then, like always, to soften everything up, I'm taking this little Hourglass brush and just lightly dusting it across the entire face in small circular motions to make everything look really blended. And I'm also going to add that same highlighter that I used on the cheeks, Ballerina by Laura Geller, on the inner corners for a highlight. There's one more step. I have been dying to use these on camera for the longest time. They are the Natasha Denona Crystal Top Coats, and they look like this. Super beautiful. They add a nice little pop to any eyeshadow look. They're kind of transparent. It's almost like pressed glitter. Let me show you guys. They look like that. Definitely give the eyes a really glossy look. I'm going to use that same brush that I used to apply the highlighter. I think these work best with your finger, but because I'm going into the inner corner, I'm just going to use a brush. And I'm also going to lightly sweep it in this direction. So pretty. These are one of those eyeshadows. They feel very similar to the ColourPop Super Shock shadows. They're just so satisfying to touch with your finger. Now I can go ahead and mist myself. I'm going to use Fix Plus again. All right, and then really quickly, I'm going to put some clear brow gel on my brows and mascara on my lower lashes. And finally, for the lip, I can't tell you guys the last time I used a MAC lipstick, but I was going through my lipstick collection trying to find a good nude neutral that was kind of glossy. And I came across this one by MAC called The Right No, and it's a cream sheen lipstick. It's this color right here, and I think it's like the perfect neutral nude. So I'm gonna go ahead and use this. I'm also gonna outline my lips with the L'Oreal Color Riche lip liner in the shade Matin Call. All right, you guys, that completes the look. Thank you so much for watching and just constantly showing me love and support, because it's times like these, like this past week, where I felt really uninspired, where I really turned to you guys for all your love and support, because I do this for you guys, and if it weren't for you guys, I wouldn't be on Snapchat, Instagram, YouTube, and you guys just constantly feed me with inspiration, and I don't know, I don't think I tell you guys enough, so I just wanted to take a moment to say thank you guys. I love you. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know what else you guys want to see now that the holidays are coming up. To me, this is very holiday appropriate. It's very Christmassy with all the green and the green velvet dress, which sadly, I'm sorry you guys, it was from Zara last year, but hopefully Zara brings it back. And yeah, just comment down below when you guys would want to see what color schemes or palettes for the eyes or the lips. And as always, you guys know what's coming next. Like, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and I will see you in my next video. Bye guys.